So what we're going to be doing in today's video is walking you through what's going to happen with the market over the next 2-3 weeks, as well as giving you guys some investments. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free. With Amazon Prime, you'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So be quick, quite fast with what's going to happen with the market. Basically at the moment the market is following the same trends as last year. First week in league the market dropped about 20%, second week in league dropped about 5-10%, third and fourth week in league, the market rose. So basically we're expecting a rise on the market. Now this isn't a rise on anyone because like I say, there's kind of like 3 platforms when it comes to players. You've got 20k players, boom. You've got 100k players, boom. And then you've got like 200k players. And what consistently happens is people climb up the ranks. And because they climb up the ranks, what it means is all the cheap players are packed loads, but no one is buying them. So the players who are only 20k right here, what's happening right here is everyone is packing these, selling these players, and these players are dropping and dropping and dropping. The 100k players, what's happening with them is some of them are dropping, but there is less of a drop on them because not as many are being packed and you're having people upgrading to them, which as a result means that they're holding / dropping less. And then you get to the players who are like 200k plus, and they should basically just rise and rise and rise. We can kind of show you this already happening this year with the likes of Varane. Varane, we can see, obviously last week, had a fair bit of a dip. But then if we go and look how he's reacted from this week, he was 86k midweek and he's currently 86k. That's because Varane at the moment is kind of mid-tier. There's as many people selling Varane as there are as many people buying Varane because people are upgrading to him. Again, people are going from the bottom level and then moving up a level. Whereas if we go and show you something like Alphonso Davies, because he's very, very cheap, no one is upgrading to him. So we can show you that he was 37k midweek and right now he's 32k. So Davies is just going to keep going down and down and down. We might see the kind of whole market rebound Saturday to Tuesday like we normally do. But the overall trend week in, week out is that he's going to drop, and I expect to drop Tuesday onwards, just like he dropped here from 46 down to 37 in 2 days last week. This does run all the way through to heroes. For example, if I show you Beasley midweek was 93. Beasley at the moment is down to 88k. Just because he's a hero doesn't mean he's an exception to the trend. The only stuff that is an exception to the trend is Old Team of the Weeks. Old Team of the Weeks are solid investments. These cards just rise week in, week out until they're replaced. So what I mean by that is Lamptey last week was temporarily replaced by the Evolutions. Obviously we had that right back evolution, everyone's putting Prem players in. Lamptey's a Prem right back. So temporarily went down from 190, but guess what? He rebounded. Just because he wasn't replaced well enough, which meant everyone went back to buying him. But we can see the likes of Krachawi. We did think there was going to be a Batcher who replaced her, but week in, week out she has just kept rising and rising and rising because no one is replacing her, and she'll continue doing that like the rest of these promo cards for the next 2-3 weeks. So that is Old Team of the Weeks and Road to the Knockouts. Icons and Heroes again just follow the same trends as the gold. So that's going to happen with the market. What are we going to go and buy this week? So there is a Hero SBC that is basically favourite to be leaked and coming out on the Monday by the looks of things. So hopefully what this will do is this will create a good bit of panic selling on the market. When there's panic selling, that gives you a good opportunity to go and buy stuff. Panic selling can happen for a few reasons. 1, people need to sell their cards to go and do the SBC. 2, people have gone and packed someone in the SBC and they're replacing someone in their club. Or 3, people are just headless chickens and they're selling them because they think they're going to crash. This means that the market can either drop going into the SBC or out of the SBC. If you do not see the market drop into the SBC, buy after the SBC. If you see the market drop 10% going into the SBC, buy before the SBC comes out. Because to see a drop of more than 10% with a Hero SBC coming out is quite rare. So what sort of cards are we look at buying? These cards. Like I said, these cards are sick because they just rise every week until they're replaced. Which means if Lamptey drops 10%, just like he dropped 10% here, didn't drop because of a like a Hero SBC, he'll rebound it and then some. Whereas gold cards, because they're, unless maybe you go with the very expensive ones, which again wouldn't have a great ROI on them, you're not going to make as much money because they're kind of holding price, whereas Lamptey is only rising and rising and rising. Which means if we expect to see a Hero SBC, again either Sunday or Monday, I do recommend buying Road to the Knockout Stage Team 1, Road to the Knockout Stage Team 2, because these have really good rises in the next week. And also the current Team of the Week would be pretty good. We've already seen some rebounds on these Team of the Weeks. We saw Sterling get as low as 60 and he was already up to 65. We saw obviously Aubameyang go from 25 to 35 because of that SAR SBC. We saw Milinkovic-Savic go from like 23 to 29. So if these cards drop as well, they could be nicer investments because they'll drop and then they'll rise going into Tuesday midday. And that is something you can go and pick up. On top of that, these cards are also pretty well in demand. Now, they haven't at the moment been rising every day, but I think we'll start seeing a rise today through to Tuesday at minimum, just because the whole market should be rising, but Real Madrid cards should be more desired than the average, gold card, just because they use it as a Rodrigo link investment. So Militao at like 150 is not bad. Rudiger at 60 is not bad. I'd hold off Alaba because he's just being supplied a little bit too much with the likes of weekend league rewards. Mendy's not a bad look. And then again, if the likes of Bellingham can get panic sold, that can also be a good buy. But Modric looking amazing, Bellingham looking amazing at the moment. So very happy how these sort of players are doing and the Modric investment. So, is that all she wrote? Regarding fodder for the Hero SBC, I would actually not probably pre-invest in any fodder at the moment because it's all a bit inflated in the last 24 hours. Although, if the SBC comes out and requires a minimum X rating, go and buy that minimum X rating. I don't think I've ever seen them require like minimum 86 and then 86s don't go up at least a few K. So, when they drop the SBC, if there's a minimum X rating, go over to Footbin, look at the cheapest on the market and go and pay a maximum of, let's say, 1k more than what we're going for on the market. So minimum 2 87s, go and buy 87s up to 15, because I ensure you they'll go up to 17, 18 and 19k. And regarding Trailblazers should just be following the same trend as all the other promos, where your buy times, there's 3 different buy times. You've got 1, if there's good panic selling between Wednesday evening and before division rivals. 2, after marquee matchups. We saw a good buy time on marquee matchups last week, and we should hopefully see a good buy time this week. And 3, going into Trailblazers Team 2. If there's panic selling on Team 1 going into Team 2, just like we saw with RTKs, there's your other buy time. If you want to play it safe though, I'd say after marquee matchups. Marquee matchups was the play last week, so it should also be the play this week. Regarding who is the best to go and pick up, we always go PGP, we go version, Trailblazers, and the most used players at the moment is Diaz. Wow. Diaz, Di Lorenzo, Mkhitaryan. Well, there you go. And Garizen's probably a little bit too expensive. It makes sense, though, because these are your cheap players. They're cheap, but good enough to make people's teams. Also, obviously, Diaz does play in the Prem, which is one of the most demanded. But yeah, very, very interesting. I can't lie, I didn't check this out prior. And these results do surprise me. I'll be honest, I did expect to see Griezmann up there, but obviously, he's 6-fold the price of a Mkhitaryan, Di Lorenzo, and Ruben Diaz. And obviously, when we get the mini release on Sunday, there could be some investments in then. So I'll keep you updated later in the week on the best investments. So again, the 3 buy times on those are going to be before division rivals if we see panic selling, after marquee matchups if we don't see panic selling before division rivals, which again I would recommend buying then. If not, you've got panic selling going into Trailblazers Team 2. You'll be buying before 6 PM because only one player, I think I have a few promos, have actually been cheaper after 6 PM than before 6 PM, presuming they didn't get replaced by an SBC player. And I'd say that is about all she wrote. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.